Going to be speaking with private investigator out of Albuquerque by the name of Maurice Moya. He worked on Mr. Michael Paul Astorga's case, and he's going to share some insight with us on what he experienced while working with the case. So I'll let you, Mr. Moya, go ahead and share.
Well, I do private work for attorneys, and I testified against the death penalty in Santa Fe. And my story at that hearing was the last one that they heard, and it came back that they voted that there will be no more death penalties in New Mexico.
Wow.
Several months later, Gary Mitchell, the attorney for Michael Astorga, had lost the homicide case where Michael Astorga was accused of shooting and killing a deputy in Bernalillo County.
Okay.
The next phase that it went to, because the death penalty was still in effect, in New Mexico, you had the trial. They killed innocent. Michael Astorga was found guilty in that guilty innocent phase. The next phase in New Mexico is the death penalty phase. Now they had to have a separate jury and a hearing to decide death.
Okay.
So then I get contacted by Gary Mitchell, his attorney, asking me if I could help them out. And I had no idea what to do. We were maybe 3 weeks away from the death penalty phase, and Mr. Mitchell dumped something like 35 CDs on me. He dumped the entire transcript of the trial on me and wanted me to review something and find out what I could testify to stop the death penalty in Michael Astorga.
Oh, wow. So literally you were brought on and given pretty much 3 weeks to do a job that could potentially
That took 3 years to develop.
3 years to develop, but that also in the ending result was going to be the nay or the say in taking someone's life.
That's correct.
Wow.
So he asked me what I could do, and I had no idea what he wanted me to get done or try to figure out. He gave me all this part of the print, gave me all this shit. And for me, I've been doing this for a long time. I did child homicides when I was working with the police department, and I know how to do investigations. So I went from the very beginning. I wanted to know everything that the deputy did prior to being murdered or killed.
Okay.
So then, the other thing I wanted to see was, I wanted to see the radio transmission, because I wanted to see what was transpiring during that time period.
Right.
So that's where I started my work at. I found out that the deputy was a good deputy. He was a rookie, and he was a good deputy. He was on graveyard shift. He went out. He stopped at every abandoned vehicle, about 3 of them, and he checked them out to make sure that they weren't stolen, vandalized, that they were all right, that they were just parked on the side of the road, out of gas, broke down, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then, and I'm familiar with the area that he just stopped at, I had always read in the newspaper, seen on television, that the deputy was killed at Old 66 and South 14. The criminal complaint said that. Everything said that's where the murder occurred at. Right?
Okay.
Accepted that fact. I listened to the radio transmission because I wanted to hear what the deputy was saying.
Right.
The deputy calls out 54, means he stopped in a vehicle, gives out the license number, gives out times 2, meaning 2 people in the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and he gives us location. Old 66 South 14.
Oh, wow.
Dispatcher tells him 10-9, meaning to repeat. So the deputy repeats that transmission. He does not repeat anything different. He says Old 66 South 14. So I figured, well, that's where it probably had to occur.
Right.
He calls out with the Astorga license, but not the Astorga vehicle.
Okay, so he called out the license plate to the Astorga vehicle, but it wasn't the correct vehicle.
It belonged to the vehicle of Astorga, the license plate did, but it did not match his truck. So that
Okay.
was different. He was calling out, I believe it was, I might be mistaken, it was a silver pickup truck that he calls out. Silver Dodge pickup truck. Astorga doesn't own a Dodge pickup truck.
Okay.
So I knew that the plate was probably correct. The plate could have been stolen, could have been taken off of Michael's vehicle. Somebody else had his plate on that vehicle. It did not match the truck.
Wow.
Okay? So I always go to the murder scene. I go out to the murder scene of where the deputy was shot and killed at. And I look up the street about maybe a little less than half a mile up. So they always put memorials down where people are murdered or killed. And there's the memorial for the deputy. And it's almost a half a mile south of Old 66 on South 14th.
Oh, wow.
At that point, I knew that no rookie deputy would make that kind of mistake.
Right.
So I know that on the traffic stop, which they believe happened, did not happen. The homicide did not occur at that intersection.
Right.
That was a lie that detectives had developed. So now I know where the crash, or I think crash light because I do a lot of crash reconstruction. I now know where the homicide occurred at
Mm-hmm.
because of the information that's on there. I also see across the street, I think it was an animal clinic, where the guy had recovered a bullet, a cartridge, out of his wall and turned over to the sheriff's department. It was not at South 14 and Old 66.
Oh, wow.
So I knew the homicide occurred in a different location than what the reports and the information that I was getting was telling me. So then I go look at the photographs of the homicide.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of crash reconstruction that I said. And I do a lot of crime scene reconstruction. To me, there's very little difference in reconstructing a homicide scene as there is a crash scene.
Okay.
My first experience with doing reconstruction was investigating crashes and fatals in motor vehicles. And I liked it because you couldn't lie to me. The
Right.
evidence at a crash never lied to me. So when I go out to the scene that I'm at, I'm taking the photos with me, and I have them on my Microsoft computer. And I'm looking at them. What I like about my computer, I can blow up the photographs.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the scene. The first thing I see is Deputy McCrane. He's laying on his back. In his right hand, he's got his baseball cap. In his left hand, he's got a flashlight.
Okay.
His left leg is crossed over his right leg, and I see tire marks leaving the scene, and I see tire marks going over the leg of Deputy McCrane.
Oh, they ran him over.
Huh?
They ran him over?
They ran his leg over, yeah.
Mm.
I look at the autopsy photo, and I see the markings underneath his cap that indicate to me that's damage from the asphalt. When the truck ran over him, the weight on it gave pressure to the outside cap, and that's how the outside cap got damaged.
Right.
He had tire marks on his uniform pants, tire marks in the street. The lady across the street, they tried several times to convince her that it was a diesel pickup truck because Michael's truck was a diesel.
Oh.
She stood firm and said, "No, I know a diesel truck. I drove a diesel truck for 5 years. I know how it sounds. That was not a diesel truck."
Right. There's definitely a distinct sound difference from a diesel truck and a truck that runs on regular fuel. So.
That's correct. There's a big difference.
Right.
She said she hears the shot and looks out the window. She sees two men get into a white truck, not even close to the color of Michael Astorga's truck, and they drive away southbound on South 14th. There's only two exits off of South 14th. One is 35 miles down the road at the Ponderosa. The other one is to turn around and go north. They They didn't go north. They should have shut that mountain down without a problem. They got to contact the Torrance Police Department and had them shut it down where the vehicles cut out. They never did. That's why I wanted the radio transmission. I wanted to find out what their officers are doing and what they're blocking off.
Wow.
The other thing that the radio tapes was they called out with Michael Astorga's license plate, but it took them over 6 hours to put out a locate for Michael Astorga.
Really?
It didn't make any sense because they had a plate.
Right. So that should have been immediate.
That's right. They should have gone back to the last car he stopped. Had they would have found the light, and they did eventually find out that it was a Michael Astorga plate, but insisted that it was his pickup truck, which they could never prove. So then, they never shut the mountain down. They accepted the fact that we got Michael Astorga. Now everybody went crazy looking for Michael Astorga. No more investigation was done. Closed the books. The case is solved.
Wow.
Biggest mistake ever been made. Then they find a witness up in the mountains that said, "Oh yeah, Michael walked in with a 9mm. No, with a 10mm gun." They asked him, "How do you know?" 10mm guns are very, very rare. I've never seen one. But this clerk claims he saw one with Michael. So now they're able.
And she was able to see him and identify that it was a 10mm gun.
Well, one of the problems that law enforcement face is they try to fit. They develop a theory. The theory was Michael Astorga's truck. The theory was Michael Astorga was in the vehicle, even though they never ran or checked him. It was Michael Astorga who did it all the way. Now we've got to go find the facts to fit that case. And you never ever do that. You let facts dictate the theory. Big difference, right?
Right, absolutely. Huge difference.
Yep. So now I keep looking for the facts. The facts that I had is that Deputy Grain is laying on his back, right hand, baseball cap, left hand, flashlight. Okay?
Yeah.
Now you go back to what Deputy Grain was doing. What was he doing?
Looking
he was
in
checking up
the cars, right.
He found an abandoned, or what he thought was an abandoned white vehicle, and approached it with a flashlight. So he could see what was in the vehicle and make sure it wasn't stripped, make sure it wasn't hot wired. I believe that's what his purpose was. He takes his hat off because when you're looking into a vehicle with
the glare,
it glares right back to you. So you got to put your head up close to look in and put your hand to cover the light from flashing in your eyes so you can see inside the vehicle. That's what he was doing.
Wow.
He would never approach a truck with two people in it with his gun hand full. He's a rookie. Even veterans officers don't get out of the vehicle holding something in their gun hand.
Right. So you're thinking he probably walked up on this car not knowing that there was people in it.
Well, the people weren't in it because he looked in it. The people were on the grassy knoll, just like when they killed Kennedy. Those shots came from the grassy knoll because remember now, you got a shot that hit the building across the street.
Okay.
That would have never happened with a driver.
Right.
So I knew that was wrong. There was no blood spatter where they claimed he was shot at on the vehicle. Blood spatter, gets shot face that close, you're going to have high speed to medium speed velocity blood. None was found. So he was shot at a distance. He was shot at a greater distance than 3 feet.
Wow.
I agree with that. Now I go back to the photos of the scene of him laying in the street. And what did I tell you was in the photographs?
He was laying in the street, tire marks, flashlight, and cap.
Yep, tire going across the leg. So we had evidence of the tire going across his leg. They could have easily sent that to the F.T.I. to have it analyzed.
Right, and do a comparison to the truck, right?
That's right. Not the truck. They didn't have the truck. Well, they had Michael's truck.
Michael's truck, yeah.
The Michael's truck, they never did.
Wow.
You also have truck tires leaving the scene. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to make this all understandable to the jury. So I tell the jury is, I ask the jury questions. I ask the jury, and all I have to do is see them nod, so I know that they know what I'm talking about. So I ask the jury, how many of you have seen my cousin Vinny? Everybody smiled. Everybody nodded their head. Everybody on the jury has seen my cousin Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you remember when his girlfriend got up there and testified as an expert about how you can measure the width of the tires and you can determine the make and the model of the vehicle that was there. Remember I told you she told the jury you could look at the tire from marks, you could get the tires, you could determine the type, the make and the model of the goddamn tires.
Right.
They didn't do none of that. I said none of that was done, and it could have been done. So I testified for about 3.5 hours on the facts as I went through the case. At the end, I stuck around. The detective gets up there. He testifies. He doesn't know how to do crash reconstruction, so it didn't get done.
Wow.
He didn't call over one of the crash experts to come out here and say, help me.
Exactly. You know, if you're lacking, then you look for the resources.
And they got the resources. You've got an officer that's ran over. Duh, it's a motor vehicle accident. It's a motor vehicle crash. No two ways about it.
Right.
So call out the people that you need. They should have treated it as a homicide, should have treated it as a crash, should have done their evaluation, should have collected all the evidence.
Right.
And they never did. After the detective testified, the jury went out and they came back. The jury found him not guilty.
Oh, so initially they found him not guilty.
Keep in mind, the judge looked at the jury and said, that's not what we're here for. We are past the guilt innocent phase. Mr. Astorga was found guilty in the guilt innocent phase. We are here to decide death.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts. Just to sit through that.
Yeah. At that point, we knew that we had lost the death penalty.
Yeah. I mean, clearly.
That Gary Mitchell hired somebody similar to me or does Chris. I think this was enough about attorneys. They all think they're great lawyers.
Right.
And they can go into any trial and win the goddamn case. But they can't win without doing their homework. They can't win without getting advice from other experts and know how to do things.
Absolutely. You have to use your resources.
That's right. But they don't bother hiring the correct people. He hired a private investigator who has probably done not even close to homicide that I did.
So you think that it clearly, I mean, with the results that you got for the sentencing phase, if you would have been there for the trial phase, there probably would have been a different result.
That's well, 8 out of the 12 thought he was not guilty.
Wow.
And they only just for a couple of hours. The other thing was on the radio transmission. I know radio talk. On the radio transmission, almost a minute and a half after the deputy stops the vehicle, you can hear the deputy go, 10-8. 10-8 means he's alive and back in service.
It means what? I'm sorry?
10-8 means he is alive and back in service and that he's finished with that call.
Oh, okay, so he was done.
He was done with the call. He called 10-8. He was back in service. Give me another call. I'm back in service. The district attorney, Kerry Brandenburg at the time, accused me in the back room of having to sneak inside the radio room somehow, the sheriff's department, that is securely locked, and say 10-8.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, and what gain would that have been for you? Like, what? There's no gain. That's,
well, you know,
that's crazy.
Because their detectives never analyzed that. Gary Mitchell didn't analyze it either because he doesn't know 10 code, an attorney. So he never questioned anybody about it.
Oh, wow.
I asked him, where's the interview of JJ? JJ was a dispatcher. He was a key witness. They denied knowing the JJ dispatcher. But yet it's on his dispatch code. Dispatcher was JJ. And all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the facts don't meet the case, though. You got to keep in mind, you've got to get facts in there that fit your theory. And that's what they attempted to do. When the facts don't meet the theory, it falls to shit in the handbasket.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you think? I mean, what is the ending result? What does the state have to lose? Just the fact that they have, wrongly prosecuted a man. All states do it. We know that the criminal justice system is not perfect. This man potentially is sitting in prison, serving a life sentence for a crime that yourself and many others are saying that he's innocent of.
Now, I've had last 2 years ago, the last 2 years, I've heard 6 homicides, but they charged innocent people with murder, first-degree murder.
Okay.
And it was not true. We were able to prove that it was not true. Gary Mitchell should have been gone after for malfeasance or business. Either one. He did not do his job in representing Michael Astorga.
Okay.
Neither did his that was with him. The state goes out and says, "Oh yeah, we're going to hire Gary Mitchell for you. He's the greatest defense attorney in New Mexico. We're going to give you Mr. Clark, who's the second best producer." Attorneys are, to me, the only way they can look good, I emphasize the word good, is to get a great investigator.
Okay.
Without a great investigator, they're nothing. Because they don't know how to do an investigation. They don't know TIN codes. They don't know police procedures.
Right.
Gary Mitchell was upset with me because why do we care what he's doing? It has nothing to do with the goddamn case. Yes,
that has a whole lot to do with the case.
That's right. He never figured out why he had a baseball cap in one hand and a flashlight in the other one.
Which is,
he didn't have it.
It definitely backs up what you say. I mean, his job is to know law. Your job is to investigate. And clearly those kinds of little details, which he doesn't have the investigative tendency to know or look at, is what you were needed for.
That's correct. I worked with Ray Tuhig, who's a good attorney, but I'm a better investigator. And I'm not saying that I'm a better lawyer than I never would be. But together, we can resolve situations. We can resolve crimes. I wrote a book called The F.T.I.O Cabin Murder, which was the same damn way.
Okay.
State police developed the theory of gang members committed this notorious murder, worst murder in the state of Mexico. 2 young boys died of starvation, dehydration. They were left to die that way in a cabin.
Oh,
the
wow.
mother and the boyfriend were murdered execution style. Therefore, it had to be a gang-related case. They assigned the case to a state police officer who had never done a homicide case in his entire life.
What?
He almost did. Yep, he almost did a murder case, but it turned out to be a suicide. That was his claim to claim.
Oh,
so
wow.
Since it was gang-related, they had to bring in a gang detective from the Albuquerque Police Department so he could help them out with all the gang information. The gang detective went out and got a list of the 18th Streeters gang members and went around asking everybody who was the fattest motherfucker on the list. That's how they were going to solve this crime.
Problem solved. Who's the worst one of you? Point him out.
Yeah. Just tell me who you think did it and we'll convict you. That's basically what they're telling you.
Who has the baddest reputation, and from there we know we can kind of make it work.
That's exactly what they did. They got hold of a kid whose name was Woody, who had an IQ of about maybe 66 on a good day. When he was at 68.
That is sad.
They hammered him for over a week and convinced him that he was present during the murder, and he named the baddest motherfucker on the list.
Wow.
And they went out and arrested him, charged them all 3 with the death penalty.
That is just sad, and it's something that it's unfortunate. It happens far too often.
It does. I wrote it. The book is called The F.T.I.O Cabin Murder.
It's called. It's called what? I just want to make sure that they can hear.
It's the F.T.I.O, Torreron.
Okay.
Cabin Murders.
Cabin Murders, and it's for sale on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
We found all 3 boys
I
not
also put
guilty.
a link up. When I produced the video, I put a link up on the website so you guys can have access to the book. And the book is written off of, this is based off true stories.
Correct. It was written by me. I wrote that book.
All right. So I definitely put a link up on the website so you guys can check out Mr. Moya's book. Is there anything else that you feel like the world would need to know based off you working on Michael Paul's case?
I know there's more, but right now that's just the gist of it.
Okay.
There was other things that we went through. We went through the clothing. I looked at all the evidence clothing. It was never sent out to the FBI. The officer didn't want to send it out because it didn't fit his facts. So the clothing was never examined. The attorneys never requested it get examined.
It basically just seems like, they weren't trying to investigate because it wasn't about an investigation. They just needed him to fit. He fit, and the case was pretty much closed deal.
That's exactly right. That's what they did in a lot of my cases. We've got a suspect. We can prove that he was there. Let's hang him out to dry. Stop the investigation. No more work to be done. No more analysis has to be done. No more evidence being sent to DPS. None of that stuff. We don't need it. The case was already put together.
Wow.
We got a guy who said had a 9mm. It was his truck, even though there's 3 different colors or different descriptions of the truck. The tires didn't match. It doesn't matter. He did it.
Case closed. We're done. He did it.
Yeah.
No conscience at all. This man is sitting in prison and probably not serving the best prison sentence. He's incarcerated for killing a police officer.
Correct.
Meaning he's not getting treated. Prison is not, a 5-star hotel anyway, but then he's probably not being treated the best by other staff members. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I'm trying to think real quick what else that I was able to discover or find.
No worries.
Fact,
this is
when they found Michael Astorga's truck, it was at the trailer site where he lived at.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. They towed it out of there. No evidence, and they never included that in their report. He must have cleaned. Their attitude was, well, you had to clean the truck.
Oh, so they just basically picked up the truck, didn't check it for anything, but just threw it in there. Oh, the truck was cleaned out, so there wouldn't have been any evidence anyway. So, it excused the fact that we didn't check it because it was cleaned out.
That's right. They always have an excuse as to what happened to the evidence. They cleaned it. We didn't get there in time.
So what was the excuse by chance? I didn't ask this. What was the excuse for the fact that the car was totally different? Wait, did the car have a license plate on it when they found it?
Yeah, it was still there. Still there. So somebody put it back on Michael, if that was the case. But we had 3 descriptions of the color. Deputy McGrane, a young deputy, is not going to make a difference up by saying it was a silver truck, but in fact it was gold, because that's the color that Michael Astorga's truck was gold. The witness said it was a white pickup truck that drove away.
So basically it was a lighter color versus a darker tinted color.
Oh, they had an excuse for that. They said, well, it was nighttime when the deputy called it out. He may have made a mistake. He interpreted silver as gold. So
really?
That's clear that part up. When the lady looked out the window, she may have imagined it was like, because it was dark up there.
So everybody's imagination was playing tricks on them.
That's right, but it's a hate crime. If Michael Astorga, the way the DA wins is that they publicized the hell out of it. It was all over the news constantly. Michael Astorga, he was the most hated man in New Mexico at the time.
So this is also why he got that's why he was granted the venue change, which I was actually surprised that they granted.
Yeah. But it didn't work though, because you can sell this to anybody. You could have sold this case to homeless people.
Wow.
But you create the hatred in the media. The media follows you. I don't care what jurisdiction you go.
Right.
Everybody knew Michael. It's like the Unabomber. Where could you try the Unabomber?
Exactly.
You could. And in small towns, small states like this, word gets around. I've got that ugly case now where they killed and sliced up that little 10-year-old girl. And our client
Yes.
is now the most hated man ever.
Right.
2 months into my case with that case, I proved that our client and the mother were being accused of giving this little girl meth and killing her, murdering her
Whew.
on meth overdose, and cut her up into pieces. Did it. I brought in 3 witnesses that shows what her alibi was at. They didn't care.
Oh, wow.
Didn't
That's
matter.
another thing that came up in Michael Paul's case. He did have an alibi also.
That's right.
And his alibis actually testified. They weren't perjured. So what happened with that?
Well, my main goal was, because I could have been up there for 6 hours testifying on all the mistakes the deputies or the detectives made.
Mm-hmm.
And my main goal was to stop the death penalty. And I knew that the crime scene, after I figured it out, everybody could relate to my cousin's sin. And they could understand that they failed to analyze that evidence, that the evidence didn't match up. The reason he was shot was from the grassy knoll and not from the driver's side of a vehicle.
Okay.
Evidence. So that, I could have gone on and on, but the reality is, none of that really mattered. Stop the death penalty.
Right.
It mattered in court.
It mattered at trial to actually have him acquitted. Yeah.
That's right. And they may have brought it up, and I don't know how strongly they brought it up. We were fortunate in our case that they got our client's cell phones. Both the mother and the boyfriend. They got their cell phones.
So they were like pinged to somewhere else?
No, 6 months after they had their phones, they said, well, let's analyze them. After 6 months, the analysis came back. GPS showed they were not there at the time of the homicide.
Oh, wow.
Duh. Duh.
Right.
But it's not over yet. So now we're going to charge him with 15 counts of tampering with evidence, and he should have never left that child with that crazy woman.
Oh, wow. So we can't get you for that, but we're still going to get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord.
It's ridiculous. But it's okay.
Well, I definitely appreciate you sharing. I know that this is going to be ongoing, so if needed, or if Michael Paul feels that, because I know he wanted to listen in, so unfortunately he wasn't able to listen in. But if something else comes to mind, please reach out to me. I don't mind doing an add-on or even another recording. But we do thank you here from Prison from the Inside Out Inc. And we look forward to you.
I just gave you the nuts and bolts in 45 minutes. Like I said, I was 3 hours on the stand. So, yeah, it's just the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, 3 hours is a long time to testify, and especially because we're trying to, condense it. And it's the same thing, it's very hard to condense. This is someone's life. He's been in prison for, quite a few years, and then, just the court situations, we're trying to condense into a small amount of time. So forgive us, everyone.
I've learned over the years, you've got to get the attention of the jury because they're going to look at you in a negative light. They're going to say, oh, here comes a hired gun now. He's going to prove the case. This hired gun is going to do this. He's doing this for money. And I didn't even get paid for Michael Astorga's case.
Wow.
But the jury thinks that. They say, oh, he's just another hired gun coming here to badmouth the cops. That's their attitude. I don't care what case I'm in, but I'm going to get.
And that makes sense. There's a actual staff that's normally on the prosecution side coming in and speaking for the defendant. Yes, it's like so they were able to pay him to swap over or to and I get it. We need more investigators like you.
Yeah, the officers are always pro-defense or pro-prosecution. I think always.
Absolutely.
That was a Michael Astorga death. How do you know? I just know. That's good enough for me. It was his life to play. I think that the witnesses are wrong based on my personal experience and training.